All right, got some commentary here on a match between amoffett11 and jonts. Um, yeah, I agree with these comments here. I did not like this is the first turn of the first game. Amoffett borrowed for silos, which I really don't like. You don't need silos on turn. If you're going to get silos, you should just open silver silos, I think. It's not like you want to cycle coppers here. Um, he gets a silk merchant. I this is one of the games where I am probably most likely to skip Silk Merchant. There's no village is the thing, right? I think I want my terminals to be wharf. I probably will still get some number of Silk Merchants at some point, but okay, he's going for Overlord. I also don't think I'm super high on Overlord here because I think I'm basically just playing it as wharf every time, at which point like whatever, man. Um, I'm actually not that high on silos either because you're gonna have those draw cards basically. Um, wow, that's incredibly good for ammo uh, to hit the wharf there. This I would get a gold here. You have two wharves and a silk merchant already. I don't think you want to add another draw card. So you want to add econ, you want to add gold. And I think I'm Silos silver, not a big fan. I just don't think silos is that important here. I mean I might get it at some point, but it does not seem worth borrowing for minus a card and getting a silver instead of a gold. Not to me anyway. This should be another silver. Oh, I wouldn't have played that either. I would rather keep my villager around for some point where I don't know, later. It just seems like it's going to be more valuable later. Royal Seal, it's okay. But like Royal Seal doesn't seem worth it over silver to me to use the villager to play the thing. You were going to get to this wharf anyway, so this should be a gold for ammo. Who will all have reasonable chances to get back to this overlord to play it as wharf next turn. I think I like that better than taking a wharf here. But it's kind of close. I could see wharf, honestly. I don't think I like anything else besides those options. Okay. No, actually, he's very likely to get back to this Overlord as Wharf because you can get the Wharf duration draw first and then cycle coppers. This should probably just be gold on top. He could get another Silk Merchant, but I don't think I like it. Now cycle three coppers. Ooh, didn't make it to Overlord. Now I might go Wharf Silver. Having three Wharves is not so bad. Although I would have liked it a little more for Johns to make that kind of a play at some point when he still had the Villager. I'm not sure about Silk Merchant. It's probably okay. Okay, now this is a little bit interesting. There are a number of options here. This could be top deck Wharf and Gold after borrowing. It could be Gold's Wharf and Gold. Yeah, okay. I like that. I would play Wharf there rather than the Jester. I'm not a big fan of the Jester. You could either borrow or use your thing and get a province, or you could just get a gold. You could get another Overlord maybe. If you're gonna get the Overlord, I don't like borrowing. Gets the Overlord, okay. Cycle through coppers. Actually not entirely clear to me whether or not you do that. 10 again. There is another wharf down here you're going to find, so you don't want to make the same play you made last turn. You're going to have too many terminals if you do that. Gold on top and a silk merchant, which you don't put on top, seems okay. Could be silver as well, though. Which, I guess you have to be a little bit worried that you make sure you find this last wharf, but I think you're likely enough to do so. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're guaranteed, or very nearly guaranteed at least. I'm not sure how many of the remaining ones are coppers also. Wow, another overlord in. And hitting these green cards to give curses is I don't know. I would be putting copper back in deck over what? Not understood. I assume one of those is mistyped. 5 here. I still want another wharf as ammo. This should be province silk merchant. I think I like silk merchant not on top. Whatever, we don't need to respond to that. Green is certainly not yellow, because yellow is your main payload here. Province. I mean, all this is just odd. I think there are too many action cards have been bought, basically. Basically. This has to be another secret passage. And I'm not sure about sticking copper somewhere versus putting estates on bottom. Huh, interesting. I don't like this because, again, I want to have wharfs in play all the time. I mean, Haunted Woods, the attack is pretty brutal here, so that is something to think about. This could be another Silk Merchant. Like, I kind of hate it, but I think you have to win by getting two of these three provinces, basically. I really don't want to get a duchy right now, because it doesn't help me to do that. This, I think I would get Silk Merchant as well, just because I expect the game to end fast enough that it's just better. I really don't like borrowing for duchy here. I mean, it would let you need only one. Well, maybe it's actually okay. If you borrow for duchy, then you're up by 6. If ammo gets duchy, or if ammo gets province, then you can have a bad turn next turn and just score a little. And if ammo, and ammo can't really get the penultimate province safely, you're hoping to have a big turn the turn after. I guess the big problem is you've got 3 wharves and you can see them all right now, so you're not going to have one in play, and you're going to have a bad rest of this shuffle mostly. I don't really know what to do about that. And you don't have any action cards left now in this draw, which is pretty unfortunato, I believe. 2 estates. You don't really like it. I think I'd play Wharf, and then play Secret Passage, and then play O. Both Overlords is kind of bleh. Because I wanted to play a couple of Wharves here. Oh, that's what you should still do. Put an Overlord somewhere near the bottom. Yeah, play around the terminal collision with this Secret Passage. That's what you do, obviously. No, that's so much better. Or so much worse, excuse me. Put Overlord 3 down and play Wharf and Overlord as Haunted Woods, but I think I would just... I think I would rather play both my things as Wharfs. Maybe actually Wharf and Haunted Woods is better, I don't know. Something along those lines. Either do what Sycomatic is suggesting, or go the other way and just play multiple Wharves. This has got to be a lot worse. This is 9. Yeah, Haunted Woods is probably just better. So play Overlord as Haunted Woods here, or on Haunted Woods, as it is now. Jester, oh my goodness. Hitting gold is great there, because Jonts doesn't draw this gold now. And just go province. Silk Merchant? Sure. I really dislike basically every Jester play the whole game. Um, this is 10 and 2 buys. This could be double duchy. It could be just duchy and like Wharf on top. Yeah. I like that play. Wow. Well, I want to keep my villagers here, so I'm just going to buy duchy. With a coffer seems better than borrowing. And then this is just a duchy. And this is a brutally bad hand for Jonts. Okay, so you need to decide what you want to do here. I think what I want to do is play This is Haunted Woods, in which case sticking a Silk Merchant back in the deck is better than sticking the green card. And I would have stopped there. I wouldn't have played on here because I don't want to buy a province here. So getting more than 5 doesn't help me. It will help me more later. What's the... Oh my gosh. Going for tons of silk merchants. Obviously, you're going to play the silk merchant here. Pretty sure you should. You want to draw some amount of money. I think I would actually get an estate there. Wow, another terrible hand. 2 in a row. This is brutal. I don't like how he's using all these silk merchants either, though. What? What? I don't understand what Ammo is doing here. He's gonna go Province Duchy, I guess. But it just doesn't seem good to me. At all. These jesters have been incredibly lucky. Like, he's not hit copper a single time, I don't think. He hit curses early and he's hitting good cards late. Buy an estate. I think as jonts on my next turn, I wouldn't be cycling coppers. I might not have his ammo there either. Stick a silk merchant in the deck and play wharf. And by in the deck, I mean like at the bottom, basically. Okay, don't try to buy anything here. Just end your turn. Now, I don't think I want to cycle coppers here as jonts. All the rest of my deck is good. This is rough. Probably double duchy. It's got to be double duchy. I know you could top deck something, but you more want the second duchy. You know these cards are still good. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what these last 4 cards are as jonts. So I'm not 100% sure what I do. Ammo should definitely take the duchy here. Jonts should take a tie if he can get one. And he can. Can he win here? This is 10. Yes, this wins. Whoo! Really nice. Really nice. But you knew that these were all good cards. This is not that surprising. Don't discard anything. I mean, I think there's a wharf down there, so it would work fine. But yeah, I really like how jonts played this game. The top decks for nice... oh, there was no wharf. I'm totally wrong about that. So... Okay, but I think it was there were 2 more treasures. So I think he was just there. Yeah, I really like how jonts played that game more than how Amoffett played it. Amoffett. A Moffett. Not to be confused with a MOSFET. Okay, whoa, this is... Okay, well, they're not starting to play. This makes sense. This is not a great druid, probably, but it is the only plus buy later. So you'll probably eventually get one, but I'm not thrilled with one early. I guess you can get golds with it, but there's no village. Well, there's ghost, but I don't think it's worth going through all the hoops because there's a lot of good non-terminal stuff going on. You can play with Groundskeeper, Forum, Wishing Well, Den. I don't think I want to play with Swashbuckler, but you could. I definitely want to play with Exorcist. So I think I open Exorcist Silver? I could see the Wishing Well, though. Not sure about Silver and Wishing Well. Because I want to hit... I kind of want to hit 5 to get dens, but I guess if I'm opening Exorcist, that's a little less important. You got to wish for copper here, right? It's just a more likely card to hit, and it doesn't really make sense. This could and probably should be a very high-scoring game, mostly from Groundskeeper, but I definitely wouldn't call Druid overpowered. It is a card. I don't think I want a second Exorcist, and I certainly don't want Potion or Gardens yet. I think I'm buying a Wishing Well and just gaining a. Yeah. This is a bit of a rough draw for Amoffett to not get the Exorcist earlier than this. Should just be another Wishing Well. Yep. So Jonts is actually going to get to the point where he's drawing his deck relatively quickly here. Copper. Copper. Wish for copper. 4 of the 5 of these cards are copper. And I would like to. Okay. And I think I just keep getting Wishing Wells here. I might even already start thinking about Druid, I guess. But I think it's a little bit early for Druid. Probably want to get Druid once I hit 7, so I can go Forum Druid. There's 1 Estate, 1 Exorcist, 1 Wishing Well, and 3 coppers. This is a bit of a sad draw. I think I just still want more Wishing Well. I mean, it doesn't seem fine to me. They do draw quite a bit. Well, there's 1 Estate, 1 Copper, and 1 more Wishing Well. It's a crapshoot. I guess I'd wish for the Wishing Well because it gives me the highest upside. But you'd be happy if you get whichever one of them you wish for. Now you have to be a little bit concerned. If you're going to trash the copper here, you don't have 7 money in your deck. Wait, I'm confused. Didn't Johns trash a copper last turn, or did he not? Maybe he didn't. I really like that play, actually, then. What are the other boons besides the action one? There's Wind's Gift and Sky's Gift. Oh, I really don't like this second Exorcist, but I guess Ammo does want Ghost. I'm just not that big of a fan of Ghost. Well, in general, but here, kind of in particular. Um, I think groundskeeper is the best source of points here. Copper now. Forum. Forum makes sure you draw your deck because you'll discard 2 coppers and then you can wishing well them back up. So Forum is really good in this deck because wishing wells and whatchamacallums, it works with both. I guess the reason to not Forum would be if you wanted to turn your Forum into a ghost, but I don't want to. Yes, and this is better because you would like to seed your next turn with you'd like to seed your next turn with the wishing well if that were possible. So if you're going to do this, I think you're not playing your Exorcist again. You're just getting another 5 and playing the Den. I'm not sure what the 5 would be at this point, but I think I'm leaning towards Groundskeeper. Maybe it's a little too early for that. I'd like to be able to double GK, but I'm a little bit worried about my draw not being good enough as well. I kind of want another Forum also. I really wouldn't be thinking about playing with ghosts here. I just don't think you need the village. It's so much work to get, and basically everything you want to play is non-terminal. I just don't think you need to do that, to do the discard for gold and then draw more. Also, that's like really hard to do. Maybe it's not that hard to do, but you don't need that much money. You don't need to be doing that. You can just take a couple golds and then you're set. You just want to get as many groundskeepers as possible. You don't want to have to add so much draw to be able to support that much econ. That I just really not on board for any of that stuff. I mostly just want to start double groundskeepering fairly soon. Wish for a wishing well? Copper? No, copper makes sense. Okay. Should be more wishing wells down here, right? He has all 5. I think. Wisp. Wisp. Yeah, I think you might have been able to do more here. This is 10. So you could take another gold here by discarding Wishing Well, Exorcist, and then buy 2 5s. Which I think I just want to be groundskeeper. No, I want it to be at least a den. Yeah. And now I think I would take a groundskeeper. Because I just want to get groundskeepers basically. 2 dens. Okay, so you're just building to more money, but I just want groundskeepers. I think at this point, the thing I'm worried about for jonts is you're lacking buy, so you're gonna have to get another druid, and this just seems like a bunch of hoops to go through. That means that he's like setting up to get Den Forum Druid this turn, and and then after that he can start getting groundskeepers and he can start getting 3 a turn, but maybe that's fine. Maybe that's good, but Maybe this is good. There's 3 coppers in there. That's got to be the most plentiful card. Okay, there's a forum. Wow, does he want more golds? If he wants more golds, he can get more golds by taking a gold, discarding Exorcist, Copper, Wishing Well, and you can still go Den Forum Druid. But I just don't think you want this many golds, really. Could be that he's trying to get a ghost here. It could also be that I really don't like this. You don't have buys to make use of all this. I guess he's maybe thinking about just double provincing here soon. I just don't think you can get all the provinces fast enough. And at that point, the groundskeepers will roar back, I think. I think killing a copper is better than well to imp, but I'm not 100% sure. Mostly I just don't want the extra gold. And I'd rather have an extra druid because the third buy seems good to me. Like you'd have 13, you could go groundskeeper, groundskeeper, wishing well, or something like that. I think he's also going to have a little bit of difficulty drawing. I think Johns was well ahead, but now I think it's pretty close. And actually, come to think of it, it would not surprise me here if there's 1 forum, 2 dens, 2 coppers. It wouldn't surprise me here if Amoffett wins. I think Amoffett might actually be ahead now. They each have 4 dens. Ammo might be drawing. I'm not sure who's. No, I think Jonts is still drawing a little better, but Ammo has extra groundskeepers, which is really nice. No, Jonts. No, Ammo has extra groundskeepers. Jonts has the extra wishing wells, but Ammo also has the extra druid. It all seems kind of close to me. You got to take this as just for the money, right? 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 Don't you? And then you have 16. 16 is kind of a bad number. You desperately need more druid if you have this much money. I really didn't like getting the extra gold earlier. It hurts your draw by quite a bit, and it doesn't do anything for you. Okay, so he's going for something. Gee, that's really informative and good commentary there, WanderingWinder. Uh, I don't really understand what he's going for. This is still not enough money. No, this is enough money to double. In fact, it's more than enough money to double province. But I don't understand. I guess maybe he is just saying I'm going to double province enough. I guess Ammo also has this extra imp, which is nice. Take fields again. Gets you to 10 even if you trash the silver, which I think I would have done. But I guess he'd rather trash the coppers over these 2 turns. Um, I think I think ammo is ahead. Not in love with playing the Wishing Wells before these wisps. Maybe you'd keep one wisp, but for the most part, I'm not too high on it. I don't like that wish either. I feel like Jonts has done this to himself. Taking all these golds is just bad. It's too much, I really think. So this is Groundskeeper, Forum Groundskeeper. And he's just saying, okay, I'm going to double province with all these Groundskeepers, I guess. And that's going to outscore you, despite you having. Is Groundskeeper split even, or. Ugh, this is bad for ammo. So you take fields, and now I think you take wins. He leaves the gold on top, rather. Okay, Den, and I kind of want another druid. He wants to already score, which is fair enough, I suppose. You can turn that estate into a you can turn the estate into a wisp. So there's one more gold, there's one more den. There's one more wishing well, some number of coppers, and a wisp. Okay, now you get to. No, 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 no. You should have played Forum before that. You should have discarded differently here, too, right? You should have discarded Druid and Well, and then tried to top deck a Druid. Or tried to top deck a Well, excuse me, not a Druid. Didn't work. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't really matter what you. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So, how much money is this? I assume he's going to double province and trash a copper here. At this point, I'd kind of like to turn the well into an imp, but maybe you trash one more copper first. Forum. Huh? Okay, finally a druid, and whoa, he's going for vineyards. I mean, vineyards are going to be worth a lot, but I don't know it's worth the amount of work it's going to take to get them. No, this is not the way you do it. You discard a wisp and a treasure, uh, or and something. You try to top deck a wisp is what I'm saying here. I think because I don't think you want another gold. Maybe you could take another gold. I don't know. I want another druid, I think. Mostly because I want more buys. I want a druid, an estate, and a den, I think. I just want to make sure I can't lose if I do that. But I think that's good. I liked the druid more than the second estate. It gets you another estate next turn, as long as you're not losing immediately. It seems better to me. And I don't think you're losing immediately, because jonts can't get enough money to empty the forums and also score enough. I don't think jonts' vineyards are worth enough, is what I'm saying, I guess. You discarded coppers instead of golds here. I don't like that, because you're not going to be able to do that again. You could discard golds again and then have the wishing wells again at the end. I guess there is something to say about you still haven't found any of your wisps yet. So I think that's a good thing to wish for, actually, because of that reason. You're going to play this forum. You're going to discard golds and be very sad. Or are you going to discard a gold and an exorcist, maybe? Maybe just golds. You're going to play your wisp next. Vineyard should be worth a lot. That is true, but it's one... Jonts doesn't have the money to empty forums, just like full stop. So I really would have liked getting the extra druid there instead. Okay, fields. I think jonts could have had a little more money this turn, but it's not 20. Couldn't have had 4 more, which is what he need to win, at least. So his vineyard is worth 6. Yeah, this looks like a bad spot for ammo now. Whereas I think it could have been a good spot otherwise. I mean, it's all going to depend on how well jonts draws. But... okay, it's worth 7 now. Province estate. In it. Gardens? Why would you take gardens? I'm so very confused. It's not worth more than duchy, is it? Maybe you're saying it will be? I don't think it will be. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we said that the vineyard's worth 7, so the gardens are worth exactly as much as duchy right now. Okay, well, whatever. Wisp. See, and I guess if ammo had the druid here, it wouldn't really help much, as opposed to having the estate. This is going to be like gardens, estate. It can't even be that though, because you don't have the gains. Gardens Druid Estate. Gardens Druid maybe. Yeah, Druid. Druid. Oh, now you can't end it. If John's duds, you can't end it. I guess you couldn't on Druid either. You don't have enough money. So it did have to be Gardens Druid Estate. So you're threatening winning. Discard your green cards. And then discard your dens. You're just going to win. As long as John's can find at least one buy, 15 money, and his potion, he's going to win here. That's exactly what he needs to play for. I guess I shouldn't quite say that. He also needs at least one groundskeeper in play. Discard the dens. Well, actually, does he have 15 money? I think he has 15 money. He took so many golds. Yeah, he's going for it, which seems good. 9. There's a gold down here, right? 12, 13, 14, 15. That's a win. Yep. Hmm. Maybe the vineyards were good. They were worth a lot. I still don't like all those golds that he took. I thought he was really far ahead at the start. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I mean, Citadel, per normal, looks pretty good here. Ghost Ship looks really good. Butcher, pretty good. Encampment is the only village, and some of the best draw, pretty good. Patrician kind of gets around Ghost Ship, kind of, sorta. Although that's a little bit less of a counter after Citadel. It's quite difficult to thin, but there is Highway and Quarry to make stuff cheap. Trade Route at some point might be good, or you just like have enough highways you could butcher into good stuff. I don't think I like opening Trade Route. I'm pretty sure I want to open. Shouldn't say pretty sure, but I think I want to open Silver. No, excuse me, Silver Quarry probably. Um, so start getting butchers because I want to butcher estates into encampments, and that's also going to help me get a gold or two to help me keep the encampments, and it's also going to get me closer to Citadel. So I want butcher fast mostly here. I could also see a crypt at some point in this game as it's going to help you uh, get rid of some of those excess coppers quickly. I don't like opening encampment. I guess it does let you quest, which is, I guess, the plan, right? What? What? No. Undo. Undo. Quest for a gold. 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 Quest for. I'm just going to keep saying that. Actually, I might like the encampment open if the idea is I'm going to quest. Ghost ship and then quest as ammo. You get to play the attack and you get the gold anyway. What more do you want? No! This is also sad. This is also sad. Another quarry or another patrician. Just play ghost ship. Quest for a gold. I'm I've wanted quest at many points here because I want to be able to hold on to my encampments. I expect this to be a plunder. Patrician. He's just going to buy encampment here. Or not. He could butcher patrician into encampment and still quest for gold or buy gold here. Or actually, probably he can still afford the plunder, right? So you could buy the plunder here. Plunder being better than gold, basically. And he's going to buy the other encampment here. Play patrician. Hey! Trash a copper and buy another plunder. So we've finally gotten to a rhythm where I assume you want to draw both of these with your patrician. I don't think there's a good way around that, really, because you can't stick. Yeah, you can't stick a 5 on top to leave for your next turn and still play the patrician. I guess you could have stuck patrician and ghost ship on top or something. And I guess this is going to be a patrician buy. I wouldn't hate some highways here. Oh, probably I'd just take the last patrician here. I'm not seeing what else you do. I guess you could take a trade route. Quest. Quest, go. Yay! John seems pretty far ahead. Would like a trade route here because I want to get thin. I also want a lot of highways. What are you trashing this copper into? A trade route? Okay. Buy a highway? Highway goes well with your butchers? Game looks really bad for Amoffett now. Obviously set this up to draw butcher with your patrician. Jonts might have a little trouble next turn because both the plunders are here, and his next turn has 2 more encampments, I think, and you don't really want to lose them. Highway. I guess double highway. So you might punt the turn here if you're Jonts by putting 2 encampments on top. Well, you put 2 encampments on top anyway. You don't have to decide whether you're punting the turn yet or not, I suppose. Quarry into highway. Buy a citadel. I don't like taking Emporium so much. Okay, had to set an encampment aside here. I think if you're ammo here, you stick back plunder and highway to this ghost ship. I'm assuming you're going to get ghost shipped. I would have taken more highways here, I thought. Another highway and then Emporiums. Maybe. Maybe just a couple more highways. I don't know. Yeah, I still definitely wanted highways. I don't know. But Jonts was pretty far ahead at that point. Arena is the discarding actions for _1 at the end of your turn. Do I want rats here? I don't think I do. Do I want DW to open with? Maybe. I think I want workshop, and I think I want ironmonger. And I am going to want hamlets, but I don't know that I want them immediately. Could be DW Workshop, actually. That might be better than Ironmonger Workshop. It's not like you're really hurting for money. Well, you kind of do want to get a werewolf because you'd like to draw. I don't think your hamlets are going to come together before you draw. Maybe Ironmonger silver so that you can get a werewolf. And then you move towards your gainers. Oh, Overlord. That's a way to get a werewolf in your deck, I suppose. I'm not sure whether you play this as Ironmonger or Fortune Teller here. I suspect it's one or the other. I think Ironmonger. I certainly don't want to open Hamlet here. Yeah, I want Hamlets in my deck, but I don't open it. I want to get the draw, and I don't think Ironmonger Hamlet is good enough to get you to 5 often enough. I do want a workshop, maybe not right away, but I'm going to want one. Here, I think I'd play this as Fortune Teller and buy a werewolf. Now I like the Hamlet okay. Keep that. Discard for buy. Keep that. Don't discard. Oh, discard for buy. Discard for buy. Werewolf. Werewolf. You need to draw more. You might be thinking about Hamlet to get another peddler, but you're not taking all this stuff right away. So I just much prefer getting the werewolf down so I can have a good turn next turn too. Or I'm more likely to anyway. Yeah. Another Hamlet there. Okay, but you got to get a werewolf coming up. Obviously discard for buy. Discard that. Get another Ironmonger. He gets a Hamlet? I don't think you have time for that. Keep that, buy a silver. The peddlers are going to be gone by the time you see this card you're buying now. Action and buy. No, 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 no. Peddler. Don't play this peddler. Be very sad that you played everything in the wrong order, so you can't get a 5 with all of your... Well, you just get the last peddlers anyway. I guess you could buy a pilgrimage maybe with 4 peddlers. If I'm jonts, I'm really not worried about a pile out because I got the 2 arena points. There's no way I can lose, and maybe I could win, but the pilgrimage might be good anyway. It also might not be, because are you going to have 2 more turns left in the game? I guess you might. I don't think I like playing this workshop. I would have rather taken the 2 points. Duchy Peddler. Overlord as werewolf. Right? You need to draw cards. Yeah. If you're jonts, you're not ending the game this turn. You're perfectly happy to just take a province, basically. I think I might take province plus the arena points from this Hamlet here. Although part of me kind of does want to play on. No. Okay. Well, I definitely want to score here if I'm jonts. I'm pretty sure I just bind province and nothing else. Whoa! This has got to be a duchy, right? The thing about pilgrimage is pilgrimage only gets you overlord and ironmonger, and I'm not sure I want to lower the ironmongers. I mean, getting another overlord's nice, but this seems kind of dangerous to me, especially if you take an ironmonger here. This could just be a cheap way to get another overlord. But I'm a little bit worried about your next turn maybe not being great, right? Because you've seen all your draw here. There's 9 cards left, and I know a bunch of them are peddlers. It's like a bunch of them are peddlers and one's a hamlet. Oh my, do I not like this. Why take the risk? Whoa, you resigned there? Don't don't you have the possibility of having a turn still? Bigger turn? I guess you have a workshop for an ironmonger. You can buy one, but it's pretty hard to get to the third one. But like jonts could dud there. Turn one borrow for spices, maybe? Turn one borrow for den is kind of interesting. There's den and spices. I think spices, something just super fast. The draw is pretty bad here, so something super fast with spices and or dens and just scoring pretty quickly. And when I say the draw is pretty bad here, I mean it's only den. It's only den. How do I feel about den versus spices? I don't like it without borrow, but there is borrow. I think I might have just taken spices though. Johnson's is just going to take a bunch of dens and then move into spices. The trade route looks excessively bad to me. This should just be a silver. You're pretty sad about it though. Because you want to hit spices. Trade what? What? I'm so confused. They're really intent on drawing, but I don't like it. Well, this is probably enough draw for Johns that he can finally move into getting spices here. Nope, he's going to get another den. Borrow, spot. No, the last den. Okay. I guess they heard draw is good, but I think this is taking that too far. Pawn or Vagrant? Spices! Finally! Nah, John still has to be ahead, I think. Well, yeah, probably. Double spices! Are you gonna go spices, pawn, pawn. He's going to have a little bit less draw next turn because he didn't draw one of his dens here. Now double spices makes a lot of sense. Spices. No, it's too early to salt. Spices. Whoa! You don't use 5 coffers to take a spices. Why would you do that? Just just don't use the coffers. I don't. Why? What? Huh? He's gonna double province here. He's 1 money short. If he just wouldn't have, if he just wouldn't have bought the spices last turn, he would have 2 more money now, and he'd have 20, right? And that is not enough to win the game. So forget what I'm talking about. But he'd be in better shape. I'll put it that way. I don't know what you can do except double province here. But you're going to be pretty sad because next turn is going to be a lot worse. Wow, just spending for that spices here. You could have only played 3 of your dens. You have 1 fewer spices to draw. And can jonts afford to not double, though? This seems really weird to me. Just buy a province here. I mean, trade route a copper and buy a province. I'm pretty sure trade routing the copper is better. Now I don't know what you do here. Triple duchy. I don't. Triple salt wasn't good. I don't understand. Vagrant's probably better than pawn by now. If you double duchy. But I mean, these next cards are 4 dens and something. Is it just 3 dens? Maybe it's just 3 dens. I think I still like Amoffett's position. It's going to be just duchy. Triple den. Do you card action or action? I think you card action here. That money doesn't do anything for you, does it? You want a province here, don't you? Yeah, you want a province. So I like card action to trigger the shuffle. Did Ammo Missile win? How did Ammo Missile what? I'm missing something. Okay, how much money is this? This is 11, 12. Okay, so you just need to province, basically. And maybe buy either a silver or a spices, doesn't matter too much. You know you've got your trade route coming up next turn. Oh, you're in bad shape. You just need ammo to not be able to salt even, which is just really hard. I guess you can hope to draw a bunch of estates. This should be card money. And this should be Salta Province. Moni. No, this shouldn't be Salta Province. Because then Jonts wins by just by drawing one. Or buying one. I can't math, apparently. I guess this should be estate. If you trade route Den, you're not winning. So you trade route copper and buy triple estate. I'm miscounting something apparently. This looks like 5 money, 8 money, 10 money. And I thought he needed 12 money to win. Oh, this is, yeah, 10 money, and then you can borrow for an 11th. No, wait, 8, 10, yeah, 11. Yeah. You need 12 to win. You do need 12 to win. So, no, wait, you still just, you go province estate here. Emo didn't have a win in hand if Johns didn't buy a province. Oh, I guess no, he did, because he could just double salt here as well with the borrow. Yeah. Yeah, never mind. Forget what I said. Yeah, I don't. That was really weird. How quickly everything broke down and stuff? Question mark. John's got pretty bad luck that turn to not draw the one den, but there was a lot of other decisions which were, we could say question. I'm not sure they were bad, but they were questionable. We'll say. Treasures look good here. Again, there's no real draw. It's going to be real hard to get Leprechaun going. I mean, Church can help, I guess. Wolf Den is the exactly one copy. Let's do the same. Hey, it lets you play more Noble Brigands. That doesn't seem worth it. A vampire... I'm not sure if a vampire is worth it either. I mostly just want to play a bunch of bandits. Church silver, yup. Then you get a bandit. You'll get another church later. I think you set aside estate copper copper. The thing is, I could see, yeah, I'm really not sure between getting capitalism and not, but I don't like vampire here. I prefer just getting for bandit. I don't think vampire seems very good. It's going to be bad for your wolf den stuff. Trashing the coppers is kind of mediocre. Band of Misfit? I guess that gives you. The Band of Misfits gives you acting troops, I guess. Coins of the Realm seem pretty bad to me. It's going to be very hard to get Leprechaun off. I think I just province. The thing is, if you really do want Noble Brigand, don't you want to buy Noble Brigand because you get an extra attack out of it that way? And the problem with Band of Misfits is it's a Band of Misfits. Its next turn is going to be. So you set the Bandit aside, you play Band of Misfits, and you buy. Oh, you do have two things here. You buy another coin, so that gives you your coin points back. You buy a province here. You're up to 7. You're very sad. You set everything aside here as ammo. Copper, gold, province is what I mean by everything. And you win as your ammo. I think jonts just tried to do too much. Set aside gold, gold, province. Buy province. Buy province, win game. Pretty straightforward. I do wonder a little bit about like mass noble brigand capitalism, but I don't quite believe in it. I also think you could maybe do a Band of Misfits thing if that's what you were trying to do, and that might be more efficient than getting the capitalism because sometimes you can play it as Noble Brigand. It's probably less efficient than capitalism, but I don't think it's so good. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of interesting. If the silver got trashed here, the second one, that might have been more interesting. He has the extra state as well, so I don't know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed and learned and whatever.